Shalom, starting off giving all glory and all praise to Yahweh, by Shem, Yahweh Shai, by Shem, Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akums and the Akos, the brothers and the few sisters pushing this truth. It's the brother Yeshua coming in from the camp, Children of Light, with the 12th segment, so like the 11th segment of Wisdom of Solomon. Okay, so we back, another book in the Wisdom of Solomon, another chapter, the Apocrypha. We're gonna touch on some things. So let's get to it. So to brief this chapter, chapter 10 started off. If we go to chapter 10, I'm not gonna read it. I'm gonna just talk about it. We already did that one. Chapter 10 started off with giving various accounts of our forefathers. Adam being the first formed father, Cain and Abel, how the righteous versus the unrighteous. The righteous was killed by his brother, as well as Lot's story, Sodom and Gomorrah, him being saved out of it, his wife being turned into a pillar of salt for disobeying him and the Most High. That's why the chapter 10 Wisdom of Solomon, the thumbnail is that pillar of salt, because the scripture says she'll be left for remembrance for generations to come. All right, so that's why it's still there. That goes to prove the Most High Yahweh's word is not void. All right, meaning it don't. He ain't gonna say one thing and it don't happen. No, So from chapter 10 to chapter 11, and in the next chapter, which is chapter 12, we'll be doing it next. It's going into basically our founding fathers' history. More in detail of Moses and what was happening going on in the times of Egypt. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first verse, it says, we know that's wisdom, she prospered their works in the hand of the holy prophet. The holy prophet was Moses. Okay, we're gonna find it out. They went through the wilderness that was not inhabited, and pitched tents in places where there lay no way. Okay, we all know about the story. And if you don't know, when Israel had to walk the wilderness for 40 years because they didn't want to be in the hands of Pharaoh under captivity, and basically, man, them 40 years we got to walk. We was led by Moses, and ones that was under him, the elders, judges of Israel. But basically, them 40 years we got to get acquainted with the Most High, mostly through Moses, because when the Most High revealed himself to the people through thunder and lightning, well, they tell Moses, they said, "No, we don't want to talk to him. We rather talk to you. We'd rather talk to you. No, Salakia. We'd rather talk to the Most High through you, Moses. We don't want to talk to him directly, because they understood this is the creator. This is the power. This is way much power than man possesses. All right. So that's why being a prophet is the most important job on this earth. Being a prophet is over being a general to an army, or being a commander-in-chief to an army, or even being a king to a kingdom. All right, because the kings had to seek out to the prophets, unless that king was a prophet, like Solomon. He was a prophet. He was also a king. Okay. Verse 2, or it's like verse 3. They stood against their enemies and were avenged of their adversaries. When they were thirsty, they called upon thee, and water was given them out of the flinty rock, and their thirst was quenched out of the hard stone. Right. So let's pull that account up real quick. Moses makes water out of, I just saw it, from rocks. Bible verse. So you see Exodus chapter 17 verse 6 right here. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock. So thou shalt strike the rock, smack it with something, hit it, and there shall come water out of it that the people may drink. All right, so just more spiritual powers that was given to the prophets by the Most High. How much more us in Jacob's trouble? I was just having this thought to myself, you might wake up in Jacob's trouble. You like, damn, man, how I ain't got no food left, or I only got enough food for like literally one meal left. And you might wake up in Jacob's trouble. and it's a plethora of food on the table, you know, or you might wake up and somebody, you know, an angel might tell you in your psyche, in your mind, go check the refrigerator. And you look in the refrigerator and that motherfucker working and it's on. You got whole foods and all, you know, nutrients, you know. So it's nothing, like the scriptures say, it's nothing for the Most High to make a man rich and poor, you know. So we have to have that same faith that in the times to come, when we ain't got nothing but to do but call upon the Lord, Proverbs chapter 1, then we hoping to receive these same spiritual powers that our forefathers have. That's why we're reading about it, you know, so we can be prepped because we next up, you know. Verse 5, for by what things their enemies were punished, by the same they in their need were benefited. Verse 6, for instead of a fountain of a perpetual running river troubled with foul blood, for a manifest reproof of that commandment whereby the infants were slain, thou gavest unto them abundance of water by means which they hoped not for. Now when it's talking about, when it says for by what things their enemies, slacky, verse 6, for instead of a perpetual running river troubled with foul blood, because if you remember, if you go back to Exodus chapter 2, which you know, I'm not gonna go to it for time's sake. You brothers can definitely go to it. And that's the account of when Moses was born and he was sent down the river because Pharaoh ordered that all the baby boys was to be killed. And so think about how many babies was in that river, you know. Salaki, was it the baby boys? Let me look it up real quick. Moses, because I don't want to just say it was the boys and it was the girls too. Okay, yep. Pharaoh's decree to kill all Hebrew boy babies. Right. So imagine, you know, how many thousands of hundreds of thousands of babies at that time was in that river. It was bloody, you know. For a manifest reproof of that commandment whereby the infants were slain, thou gavest unto them abundance of water by a means which they hope not for. Verse 8, declaring by that thirst then how thou hast punished their adversaries. Right, because we got the blessing, right? Even though we had to go through that, you know, in the end, our people was the ones that got blessed because we the chosen seed, okay? The other nations wasn't blessed. You know, we see what happened to Pharaoh in Egypt, you know, the first Passover. You know, the death angel came down and smote everybody that didn't have their door marked. You know what I'm saying? It says, verse 9, for when they were tried, albeit but in mercy chastised, they knew how the ungodly were judged in wrath and tormented, thirsting in another manner than the just. Right, remember them plagues of Egypt. They was getting hit with all types of shit, them Egyptians. And basically for oppressing Israel. And for acting like the Most High wasn't the Most High until he had to put his foot down on their ass. That's when they started to, we gonna leave them people alone because they power ain't nothing to play with, right? Verse 10, for these thou didst admonish and try as a father, but the other as a severe king thou didst condemn to punish. Right. So when it says for these thou didst admonish and try as a father, remember he's the Salaki. He's the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Joseph. You ain't gonna find no Bible verse to where he say he's the father of Edom, or he's the father of Moab and Ammon, or he's the father of Elam and Ishmael, or he's the father of Cush and Ham, or he's the father of Japheth and you know, another nation. No, he's the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is the 12 tribes of Israel through Jacob, okay? So, and I'm gonna get a precept on that too. But the other as a severe king thou didst condemn and punish. Right. He didn't treat these other nations like his children. Okay? Because they not his children. They're not the chosen people. God chastises whom he loves. There we go. So Hebrews 12 and 6. Okay, it's one key word in there, and that's love. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. Okay. If ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? Okay. So yeah. So damn, it's another. It seems like it's another one. Here we go. This is the one I'm looking for. This is the OG one. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 12. The one in Hebrews is good too, but this is the one I was looking for. Verse 11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father, the son in whom he delighteth. Right? So we go back to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 11, verse 10. See that? As a father, Israel is treated by the Most High like children. You know, we his children. Okay? These other nations, he already told us they accounted as spittle. You spit on the ground, that's what they worth to the Most High. Nothing. Who spits on the ground and tries to recover it? Or who walks around trying to collect spit? You know? Nobody. So verse 11, just wanted to bring that point out. Whether they were absent or present, they were vexed alike. Right. Because in Egypt, it wasn't no telephones. It wasn't no breaking news. 30 minutes ago, the plague just happened. Or an hour ago, 5,000 Egyptians dropped dead. No. So think about that. That verse 11 is saying whether they were absent or present, they were vexed alike. Because the Egyptians that, just say if you in West Egypt, right? I'm just using an example. Just say you in West Egypt, and the Most High put a plague in your city, and your city got 20,000 people in it. In West Egypt, it might not even get to East Egypt for another 2 months. You know, basically what Pharaoh was trying to do was he was trying to hide the fact that his people, with the Egyptians, was getting plagued so much by the Most High that he basically told his people, well, he basically said, I ain't even gonna tell the rest of my people because I don't want them to, you know, get scared. But guess what? It still got out. You know what I'm saying? It's like the FBI, somebody get assassinated and the FBI covered up for 20 years and it finally comes out. You like, damn, motherfuckers like, dang, y'all was covering that up? Man, so this whole time we've been walking around the killer. He been living in the same city as us. And y'all just arrested him? You know, so that goes to show you that the wicked of this world, man, when the Most High intervenes, it ain't nothing that they can do. All right. Verse 12. For a double grief came upon them, and a groaning for the remembrance of things past. Right. You know, they got to witness the power of the Most High. For when they heard by their own punishments the other to be benefited, they had some feeling of the Lord. Right. And they also realized that the Israelites, was the ones that got benefited because they was the chosen. So they had to put 1 and 2 together. Wait, we got punished. We got punished and plagued. They got redeemed and rewarded. Damn, these is the children of God. Damn, we really do need to stop fucking with them like how he is. You know what I'm saying? We actually gotta back up off of them. Verse 14. For when, I'm reading out the book, I got a lot of writing. For when they heard by their own punishments the other to be benefited, they had some feeling of the Lord. That was 13. 14. For whom they rejected with scorn, when he was long before thrown out at the casting forth of the infants, him in the end, when they saw what came to pass, they admired. Right. So way in the beginning, even before Pharaoh decided to throw out all the Hebrew baby boys, okay, because he heard that a king was going to be raised up in Israel, way before that even happened, they knew the Most High and still rejected his power, all right? But 15, but for the foolish devices of their wickedness, wherewith being deceived, they worship serpents void of reason and vile beasts, and thou didst send a multitude of unreasonable beasts upon them for vengeance. Right. So think about all these different, matter of fact, let's get some pictures real quick. Ancient Egyptian, there we go. Ancient Egyptian gods. So the ancient Egyptians worship over 2,000 gods and goddesses for almost 6,000 years, which is really 5,000 years because man has only been on the earth no more than 5,000 years. You got Amun-Ra, Horus, Hathor, Osiris, Anubis, Ra, Babi, Taweret, the god. Look at that, the goddess of hippos. Come on now, what the fuck? Who finna go worship a hippo? So you know, look at all these little, cause we gonna break this down. Like, look at this right here, the middle. I know it's kind of blurry. Let me see. This look like a crocodile, right? Oh, walking man dragon, man horse. Well, if you go back to this verse, it says, verse 15, but for the foolish devices of their wickedness, wherewith being deceived, they worship serpents void of reason. Right. So all them gods, all them thousands of gods y'all worship, what happened? And vile beasts, thou didst send a multitude of unreasonable beasts upon them for vengeance. So why the Egyptians whole time they painting these serpent heads and serpent gods and half man, half serpent? Why the Most High Yahweh sent exactly what they painted to go kill their ass? Yeah, that's exactly what that means. All right. And oh yeah, and we finna get into Leviathan. Just wait. Or no, dragons. Don't even worry about it. Just wait. Verse 16. They that might know that wherewithal a man sinneth, by the same also shall he be punished. Right. That's fair judgment. For thy almighty hand that made the world of matter without form. Let me see. Okay, not yet. I ain't at that precept yet. That for thy almighty hand that made the world of matter without form, wanted not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions or unknown wild beasts, full of rage, newly created. See that? It's nothing for the Most High to make whatever he want to make and go do it and go. Come on, that's Ecclesiastes 39 and 28 to like 31st. There be spirits created for vengeance. If on Judgment Day you see a goddamn 20-foot tiger with a man head and bear paws and goddamn eagle wings, don't even be surprised. Cause yeah, that could happen. Damn it. All right, people see all types of supernatural shit, and the only way we get to see it is through social media. Yeah, we get to see a lot of shit through social media, but just think about all the supernatural things people see that ain't, you know. I don't want to be talking all off the wall and all that, but shit, you don't think the motherfuckers that's been on mountains and all that, you don't think they don't seen different animals and shit that ain't supposed to be like that, and different types of shit? Yeah, man. It's people out there that's why they create all them TV shows like that, because motherfuckers will see some shit, don't know what the hell it is, and it'll just be a closed case, unsolved mystery. But we have the scriptures to know them things actually is can be created. So let's see, verse 19, 18. It says, or unknown wild beast. Oh, I read that. Oh yeah, I didn't finish. Or unknown wild beast, full of rage, newly created, breathing out either fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparkles out of their eyes. That's a dragon. In the medieval times, dragons. Murloc, dragons. Roman times, Egyptian times, Roman times, Greek times, Babylonian times, Neo-Assyrian Empire, Medo-Persian Empire, dragons. Egyptians, times of Egypt, dragons. Yes, there was dragons flying around. But how we know that? We ain't never found no fossils and no motherfucker. The Bible tells. That's how I know. If you don't believe that, oh well, you're gonna get killed by one in Jacob's trouble. Figure that out. Verse 19. Matter of fact, let me pause this real quick.